like, this fucking bitch right here.
What a bitch.
Just smoking this big black cock. Oh shit, you got that on recording.
It's been recording for a little bit now.
Is there no way around that? I mean, put a banner at the bottom.
Yeah, we can just put a banner, I think, at the bottom. It's not that big. Alright. Welcome to another Game Girls But Boys.
I think
We
you should
haven't been back in a
say.
while.
Yeah, I think you should address the elephant in the
So,
room.
we've been gone a while. Almost all the footage we had, I just wasn't feeling it was up to par with what we were making there at the end. So, I want to just keep making.
I make perfect footage, okay? Anytime I go onto a camera, it sparkles, alright? So I don't know about what you had.
It's so hard to tame your sparkle. Like, it broke my my
your
Photoshop.
laptop, your computer.
The program crashed
closed. The biggest thing is
Twice.
there was a worldwide pandemic. I don't know if you know this, either of you, but there was a worldwide pandemic going on.
I didn't know that.
What
Should
have
I
you...
go outside?
No.
No.
And if you do, you have to wear a mask.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Do you have
Yeah.
a mask?
Yeah, we got like cheap.
Is it one of those
thin masks.
edgelord, like, don't, like, scary skull masks?
It is a
oh,
skull mask.
Fuck.
It's literally
I
different colors.
really hope that wasn't the case. I feel bad
One's
for that
zombie
joke.
skull face.
No. Yeah, so that's the biggest reason. We couldn't gather together, even though it says 10 people. We just couldn't gather together.
Oh yeah, I mean, also we've had some.
We have personal things that happen.
Well,
in
I'm just
life.
trying to think of like everything that happened because it has been a while. So I'm trying to see if there's anything.
I mean, there's nothing that's been
there's
super
really,
crazy.
Yeah, there really is not.
It's
We've
just that
been
it's been
trapped at
difficult.
home,
It's
so-
just been difficult for us to get
Yeah.
together during this. I worked the entire time. I don't know. I was never trapped at home.
Yeah.
No, it was horrible.
That's horrible.
I wish I had 2 weeks off like everybody else.
I've been home for like 4 or 5 months.
He's been home since March.
Have you
Feels
had
like-
fun?
No. I mean, when I work, like, it's busy. Like, it's always busy because, people don't understand that, like, it could take a task to do something in, like, real time. Probably only takes, like, 5 minutes. But, like, you doing it over the internet could take, like, 10 minutes.
Connectivity. Yeah.
And
Well, not
Wi-Fi's
even
pretty
that,
garbage,
just-
so...
Well, that, but also, like, the people he's helping will just straight up walk away
They'll
from
just
the
walk
computer.
away, and they won't...
And he'll be like, oh, you need to sign in, and then nothing.
And
So
they'll be
he'll
gone
type
for,
it
like,
on the
30
spot, and he'll
minutes.
be like, you need to sign in.
They'll be gone, and they
And,
won't
like,
give a shit.
one person was like, oh, sorry, I was dealing with my kids. And he was like, really? Really?
Like, you could have just said, hold on, gotta deal with my... Because I'll do that if, like, the cats are, like, what they're doing right now, fucking shit up. Weiss, get down. I'll be like, hey, I gotta deal with my cats. No, I don't get...
He's like, hold on, I gotta go bust a nut real quick.
Yeah,
while
and
I'm out.
they're like,
I think
can't
that
wait
minute is
that
past. I
long.
think we're good to make those adult jokes now without YouTube screwing us over.
Has that passed? I don't know.
I
hope so.
No, but
Fuck it. Fuckity fuck fuck fuck. Fuck. Fuck.
anyway, so the biggest reason why we gathered here today, my
Is
friends and
for
family,
the PlayStation event.
we're going to talk about the PS5 reveal. You look so far away.
I know, am I?
You still look so far away. Look at my giant ass head compared to all you. There we go.
Is that better?
I don't know.
Okay, so wait,
Anyway,
so what were we...
So the PlayStation 5 reveal
Right.
happened earlier today at 4 p.m. our time. I'm not going to tell you crazy bastards where we live. But it was crazy. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but the entire time, except for at the very beginning when they showed Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, that was really just...
I was like, ooh,
Bad-
this is going to be real
Bad
bad.
intro, yeah,
Ooh.
no. Starting with a game that was on the
The-
PS3 and the
This game is
360.
going to go 3 whole generations? Not even Minecraft has done that. Minecraft has been around for probably
Although
almost as long.
It should follow.
It'll
pretty
probably
sure.
go.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Shouldn't say that out loud.
With
It's
another-
probably going to happen.
With another iteration of Doom.
Roblox?
The new one. Yeah, Roblox.
But I don't know. Like after that Grand Theft Auto reveal, I was just hyped the entire time. Even for like the small. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. What did you
Alright.
think? Let's go back. You know, Xbox had their event I want to say 3 weeks ago.
I didn't watch that.
We didn't
The
watch
only
it.
thing
We didn't even know they were
I
doing
didn't
one
even
for
know they did
Xbox.
what day they were. I'll have to watch that one. Because I know for
Yikes.
Xbox, the only one I was really excited for was the new, what's it
Halo.
called? No.
I don't know then.
Guardians is so fucking bad.
I don't know then. I don't know any other game that's going to be on the new Xbox.
What is the...
Hellblade.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hellblade
Yeah.
Senua's Sacrifice. It was
Really
one of my
weird,
favorite
though,
games.
that it was Xbox exclusive.
So they bought the studio.
Yeah. Because they were really acting like they were PlayStation.
I mean,
Company
they made
back in the day.
Heavenly Sword or whatever it was, Heaven's Blade,
Which was a...
PS3 exclusive.
Yeah.
But no, the Xbox. To summarize the Xbox presentation and kind of like a general consensus. Now, remember, I say general consensus. I know there are probably a lot of you who really enjoyed it, and you're like
Xbox or die.
fanboys or die.
Which is fine.
But the general consensus was that it was lackluster. It was okay. You know,
you think so?
that's,
There was no big
it's
titles.
not my opinion of it.
Okay.
That's kind of the general consensus of it. There
They
was
also
no big
did.
titles.
They also announced all their stuff pretty early.
They announced a lot of cool things, like you can use your original Xbox One controllers for the new Series X.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
You know, you can do a lot of these other things, but again, gaming content was lacking. You know, they've shown off a couple games I'm really stoked about, like that survival horror one that they showed. You haven't seen the event, so I can't really talk more about it. But
Which one? Because I saw a gameplay.
it's called
for...
Medium.
That's what
Yeah,
I showed
she
you.
showed
Yeah,
me. I've
I
seen
saw
that.
that
Yeah,
pop
I've
up,
seen the
but it
trailer.
didn't specify like
She
That's
was
a
super
console.
excited
console.
for
That's
that
an
game.
Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, it never
Well,
said
I
which
definitely want
console.
an Xbox, because so is the fucking Hellblade is going to
Yeah.
be an exclusive, so, and I need that, so.
But my thoughts going into this, of course it was supposed to release, the PlayStation 5 reveal was supposed to be, I think on the 7th? But given the current political climate, you know, with police brutality movements and protesting and overall, you know, a greater need and emphasis for a conversation that's been not had for a very, very, very long time, and now that it's finally happening, they've decided that a lot of companies decided that in order to support, you know, Black Lives and the dialogue that really should have been happening, like I said, a long time ago, they pushed it back. And today we finally had our PlayStation 5 reveal, and let me get what you guys kind of think. As a whole, how did you feel about it? What did you think? Like, not getting into any specifics just yet, when the credits started rolling, how did you come out of it?
Damn, I can't wait to get my hands on Ratchet and Clank.
That's the thing you thought
That
of?
was the thing I thought. Well, I told her that the one thing that stood out to me is, like, their particles are on point with this new gen.
That SSD definitely makes a
Yeah, it
difference.
makes a huge difference of, like, just some of the particle effects. I mean, because I don't think there have been any. I need to do more research on this before I make an actual statement on it, but I need to look up this whole thing about the new Unreal, because Destiny mentioned that apparently a new Unreal is coming out, so
They have
that
test
was
footage
probably
out.
yeah. So that's probably my first thought was like, holy shit, I can't wait to see what people can do now at their homes.
As an indie developer.
Well, yeah, because I follow some, like, there's this one guy in Sweden that's been working on an Attack on Titan game since I've been in college. Well, since I was in college, so it's been like a few years. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to see what they make from it and what these studios do.
Absolutely.
I just like that the controller's gonna be bigger. I hate the PlayStation controller with a fucking passion. Cause like playing Assassin's Creed, it's so uncomfortable because it's like you're gripping the fucking controller trying to beat people.
Yeah.
So like I like that the Xbox controller's bigger because it just feels more comfortable to me. So I like that the controller is gonna be bigger, but it just frustrated me that they took to like the very end to finally show what the console looked like.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that because I know there's already memes about it.
I knew there were going to be memes the
Oh,
second
man,
I saw
the
it.
But
I
moment
was
also
that
like
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen, they released that there is going to be a black edition of it, and they are doing a Spider-Man edition.
Really
But honestly, it's kind of dull for me.
Yeah.
Like, compared to what they've done previously with their collector's editions of consoles.
At least Xbox
and
is
what
doing
Xbox
this cool
does.
light thing. They're doing the cool, like, at the top it shines.
I don't know,
thing.
bro. The new
Yeah,
Xbox looks like a refrigerator.
Yeah, but the top lights up. What the new one? The new PlayStation one's a fucking router. It doesn't.
That's cool.
glow
At least
or
it has
anything.
some edges to it. Like, it's a rectangle. That's the new Xbox console.
Yeah, that's my point though. But they still flavor. All they did was put color in it, and that shit's more
I'll
impressive.
give you this, right? I'll give you this,
You know?
that the new Xbox looks like it could fit in anywhere. I mean, it's just a brick, right? So
Yeah, that's true.
it
yeah.
won't clash dynamically with whatever
Well, I can
furniture
hide
you
it
have.
behind my
think-
TV, and
well,
I think that's
the
what they
good
were
thing
going
is
for.
that they both look like routers. So, like, nobody
They'll
would
both-
suspect
yeah.
it was a
I
console.
guess. I don't know. The PlayStation did some really weird stuff. That does make sense, though.
I
But
can,
let's
I can just hide it behind my TV.
let's get into the games that they revealed. Again, I said, let me emphasize this
We
by
should have
saying
looked up a list.
these are going to be. I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's
First,
talk
did you
about.
get gauges? Can we talk about that? Did you get them?
I
or did you
didn't.
have-
No, these are fake.
Oh.
My clamp ones that I usually wear, I lost one
Damn.
somewhere, so I've just decided to
Shit.
move on. I don't want to spend money on getting replacement.
Okay. Anyways.
But anyway, so they show off Grand Theft Auto to everyone's complete
Who
excitement.
gives a shit?
Yeah, for real.
I really.
Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out for over 10 years, spanning 3 console generations, the highest selling video game of all time. I'm not really surprised it's going to be available on the PS5. It's probably going to cost $60.
Fuck.
And then, so I'm going into it, I'm like, ah, shit. That's not a good sign.
Well, also, it's not a good sign that, like, their advertisement for it mainly was the content that was in, like, the online.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, honestly, like, because a lot of people like GTA. I'm not, like, shitting on it because, of course, it's a great
It's the
game.
biggest selling game of all time.
Yeah,
for
but
a reason.
they're like dickheads about certain things. Like, you can't say that's not true. I mean, look, they're online. They
Oh,
didn't-
yeah, no,
they didn't
it's-
give a
that's
fuck
absolutely
when
true.
when it first dropped. So, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna lose any sleep if no one gives a shit if this comes out.
Right.
I
That's
don't care.
the thing, right? But then they show off. They show it off, right? Something I thought we were going to get maybe it, but they show us close up of hands against something, and there's electricity coming out, and then the camera pulls out, and you hear Yuri Lowenthal's voice, and then you're like, oh shit, and it turns out it's Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Well, they did do a good job of using electricity to hide his complexity.
Yeah.
Or his complexity, his complexion. I couldn't tell it was Miles. I really.
Well, I mean,
couldn't.
he's in his black suit.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. So, yeah, it's just like with the electricity, they hid the hands very well. So he was in the suit, but it was like ripping off, and it's
Oh,
hard
yeah.
to tell if it's like.
And
Yeah.
so, but now we got some questions about this, right? You've seen the trailer, you've seen what it
I
looks
think
like.
it's weird they're naming it. Okay, let me say this first before.
No, I think you're onto something I was going to say.
Yeah, so I wanted them to switch it over to Miles. I wanted Miles to take over. I've always wanted a Miles focused thing. I own the comic where Miles' mom died, a first print thing. Not that I don't think it's worth anything. But
You don't have to show
I'm
your
just-
nerd cred.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, basically, I have mad respect for Miles Morales, but and I'm probably saying his name wrong, but that's how I will say it. I don't give a fuck.
I think you're right.
Even if I'm not, suck my dick. Yeah, it's named Spider-Man Miles Morales.
So does that mean it's a sequel?
Or is it a spin-off?
So this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to lay my
So-
I've always done this. I'm going to lay out my
I feel about
interpretation real quick. Right?
Okay.
I don't think it's it's not a sequel. I
Fine.
don't think it's not Spider-Man 2.
What if he dies in the beginning?
I don't
and then
think
he passes it on?
Peter Parker's going to die either, because a lot of people were bringing that up. I don't think Peter Parker's going to die because Peter Parker is going to be in the Spider-Man 2 game.
So you think that they made enough money off of Spider-Man that
To
they
make
now
a
have
small-
dived into
Remember
two
when
different...
Infamous came out?
That is-
the one on the PS4, and then they did First Light or whatever?
Yeah.
I think this is like that. I
You
think
think this is a
Spider-Man.
DLC thingy?
Nah,
that
it's way bigger than
but like First Light.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, I see what you're saying.
I think
Like,
it's gonna.
a
I
separate
don't
thing.
think it's gonna be a 20-hour story-driven game, but I think it's going to be a chonky boy of content.
I wonder if that's their solution.
The game doesn't look like a PS5 game.
Which that probably it didn't. It looked like
a
the
PS4
game, yeah. And it also wasn't the same footage. It didn't look like what they showed at that event. You remember back before the PS5 was shown, it was right after people were like, they're gonna release the PS5 in like a couple of years, and they showed the run test or whatever, and it was of Manhattan and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
For some sort of game, I don't know.
I think it was the Spider-Man 2018, but running on a PS5 graphic.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, that's what they said it was.
Oh, okay.
They showed, and what they were doing is they showed how quick it loads.
Yeah,
it would stutter with, they took the camera and
that's
they ran
that
it through
particle
with the
thing.
Pro.
Well, all right, let's go game by game. So, what did you think about that?
What, about Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't play Spider-Man. I watched him play.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll play the Miles version because I like Miles because he knows that my favorite Spider-Man movie is Into the Spider-Verse because I like that it focuses on Miles.
They do a lot of nods to Into the Spider-Verse in that small trailer.
I noticed.
The musical soundtrack.
I noticed a lot of that.
Up.
Well, also, I'm a
so
huge...
good.
I told her, literally while we were watching it, I was like, oh, shit, they're adding Miles villains who are significantly more powerful than...
regular Spider-Man.
Peter, because of the Venom burst and the invisibility and shit, and I don't know. I'm excited to see if they don't try to incorporate new types of gameplay with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I agree with you. I doubt that because they said it was supposed to be the second Spider-Man was going to have multiple characters you could play as.
And remember the cliffhanger at the end of Spider-Man 1? Did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished it.
So Venom is going to be, Harry Osborn.
That's what it was, wasn't it?
So why would you kill Peter Parker and have Miles Morales? Miles Morales is a great character.
But at that point, too, he's still new to learning everything.
But Venom is a Peter Parker villain.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he's the one that kills Miles' mom, though.
Narratively... And maybe they do that, they go into this little side story with Miles, and they do something like that, and it makes more sense for Miles to be the centerpiece of 2.
I doubt they'll do Venom for Miles. Miles' mom is already dead, isn't she?
His dad is.
Which is completely different from the comics. In the comics, he disapproves of him being Spider-Man, so when he finds out.
But
cops shot her, technically.
But that's just what I kind of think. Now, if I'm proven wrong, it's cool. But, I don't think it's... I mean, I'm sure they're going to charge $60 for it, but I don't think it's going to be a $60 value game.
To be honest, the thing I'm most disappointed in is when I turned on the DLC, I couldn't play as Black Cat. I literally haven't beaten the DLC. I haven't either. I don't care. I really, I was so excited to be able to play as other characters in, the DLC, and then I was like, okay, go fuck yourself.
It just shows them as
Which is bullshit with them knowing full well that, Arkham City exists and did the same thing.
Yeah.
And, people are going to assume things because that's how consumers are. They assume, poor Cyberpunk. What is happening with that?
Yeah.
Due to, people assuming shit. They're, re-editing it every 2 days, it seems.
I think that they have a success on their hands. And putting Spider-Man in the release day window is... going to generate huge sales.
Yeah, but that's why I also don't think it's Spider-Man 2 because why would it be a launch title? They've never put out anything spectacular really at launch.
Spectacular Spider-Man, you think?
Yeah. Well, technically, I might be wrong and people will probably correct me, but I'm pretty sure Harry only gets Venom in Spectacular storyline.
I don't know if Harry ever becomes Spider-Man. It's either Eddie
Brock.
No,
Venom. Are you talking about Venom?
Yeah.
It's either Eddie or Brock. It's
Eddie Brock or it's. There have been a couple people. Flash Thompson. Flash Thompson. Wes Gargan, whose Scorpion became Venom for a little bit. But
there is one I know of just because I remember back when Spider-Man 2 was coming out for Venom's birthday. He tweeted out, or Harry's birthday. It was a picture from some storyline where Harry and Peter made Venom and then put him in a lab locker thing or something, so people thought it was...
That escapes me, my friend. You have some knowledge I don't know. But I want to move... so, Spider-Man, I think, it's undeniably a big hitter for them, and it was a phenomenal choice for them to put it at the start of it, right?
Yeah.
And then, not only to start it off with that, but then follow it up. Let's take a moment to talk about how cool their PlayStation Studio icon is. It's sleek. It's that white image on that black font, and it's instantly recognizable.
Oh, they were all about the product.
Oh,
they were
yeah.
all about the product.
But
yeah.
they follow up
teasing
Spider-Man,
that.
made by Insomniac Games, with
Ratchet.
another Insomniac Games product, Ratchet and Clank. And I'm like,
Which I honestly didn't
did not
even know was
expect.
making. I thought they stopped because the movie didn't do very well.
No, I knew they were making a new Ratchet and Clank, but I
I didn't
totally
know
did
that.
not think that they were going to showcase 2 different products from Insomniac. Which also leads me to believe that Spider-Man Miles Morales is not a full-featured
Full-fledged
game, because they've been working on Ratchet and Clank.
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know because it said 2021, so but it looks super polished.
It looks good, and the game
just
when they're
looks
going
so
through the
good.
dimensional rift.
Yeah, dude, holy fuck! I
Dude,
almost
do you
jizzed, I'm not gonna
know the
lie.
technical that SSD
When I
is
was a
working
kid-
overdrive?
when I was in high school, I kept trying to make that work in Unity, and it just wouldn't. It wasn't possible.
It
It would.
doesn't.
It would force a loading screen. There's no
Yeah.
way to make it like go through.
But
and
it's all
I'm seeing it now in an
seamless, dude.
actual fucking
It's
video game, and
seamless.
it's seamless. And like then now they're saying they have all these different enemy types, and
Do you
I
think
don't
people are going to complain that there's a female Ratchet?
I don't know. I got hyped. I saw her, and Destiny looked at me like, and I was like,
I totally think that you're going to
I
have
thought
those
it was
dudes out
cool.
there that are like, oh, Insomniac Games
Yeah.
is catering to a female audience because social justice warrior issues.
they had like I was like 2016 or something. The girl that writes the Tomb Raider games, she had tweeted out that like it was a great year. It was the year that Horizon was announced. I think it was like a bunch. Yeah, it was like there were like 8 or 9 female lead games, and she was like, good start. And then people just were like, how about you make a
I don't
fucking
get it,
cooking
bro.
game
I
and
just
like
don't
all
get
this
it,
other
bro.
stuff. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. But overall,
Why? Who
I am
gives a shit?
so hyped for Ratchet and Clank. So for me, at that point in the presentation, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how do you go from here? And then your mind is like, well, what are they gonna do to go from here, right? There's still an hour and whatever amount of minutes, and it was crazy. So I know you're excited about Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
You said earlier that Ratchet and Clank is going to be the reason you buy a PS5, probably first.
First, before the Xbox, is because of Ratchet and Clank.
Do you have any say in Ratchet and Clank?
I mean, it looks cool. Like I said, I grew up on Xbox as
Yeah.
a kid, so I didn't play like the PlayStation games.
Yeah. I think
so
Corey
like,
and I
except
grew up...
like PlayStation 1 and 2, I played all the stuff on that, but like that was never in my like, you're fat, stop.
It's Bubba's or the big cat.
So
Bubba's.
I played like Spyro and Crash and like the racing
Bubba's.
games,
Come here,
but I mean it
Bubba's.
looked really cool. It kind of captivated me. Like
just
it
sat
looked like a
down.
fun
Graphically,
game.
it looks great.
Yeah, it looks really pretty. Like I liked the colors and stuff.
And I can say, when you and when I was growing up, definitely, and I'm sure you too, that PlayStation was really the only home console if you didn't want a Nintendo. And Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, those games were just a part of my childhood, and it sounds cliche to say, but it's cool to see it still popular and still a driving force for Sony.
Yeah, I wish they'd make a new Jack and Dexter or a Crash
I mean, maybe Naughty Dog will after they release The Last of Us Part 2 here soon.
It's like, and they also, did you notice they didn't show any Last of Us gameplay?
You don't
What
have
the
to.
fuck? But I didn't look at spoilers.
Well,
I'm not
it
like
doesn't
on
come
the
out
internet
until
looking
it comes
for.
out on the 19th,
Comes
so
out
it's just a
next
couple
Friday.
of days
That's
away.
stupid.
So there's no point showing it because it comes out before the PS5 even
Yeah.
comes out.
I just want
Same
that
with
shit.
like Assassin's Creed. Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed, Ubisoft is doing their own special thing
Yeah.
for their games. So
Yeah.
I do think we'll talk about Last of Us at some other point, but I'm really excited about the game too. But I think it was genius for them to hit off their presentation with 2 of their most iconic franchises,
Right after that.
and then they show some indie games. And even the indie games, I mean, they show Gran Turismo 7, which
I also didn't give a shit about.
Gran Turismo is a staple.
It's
in
gonna
their
look
franchise.
good either way, but it takes forever to come out. I remember the last one took like 2 extra years. Like
yeah,
it's
it
gonna
didn't
take
even have
forever.
a year.
Yeah,
like
like
release
it's
date
gonna
at
take,
all.
and I'm not bashing the director guy or whoever was the one talking, but you can tell I don't really want to hear from any of these fucking video game chief people unless it's like there's a difference between those guys who look like they're well, and she's just gonna push the light over. Like they're well rested and all this shit, but then you take somebody like the guy that made Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3 and stuff, that man, every time he like gave an update about the game,
He looked like he did.
He looked like he did, and like he did.
With Gran Turismo, I was like, cool, it's Gran Turismo. And then they showed some indie games off. And all of those indie games had their own little flavors, their own little cool things. The little devil inside looks super cool.
Dude, that one, I told her we're getting that.
Little devil inside looks so cool.
That's the one where like the old man wasn't doing shit and his
like
man was
a
out here.
sword,
Yeah,
and there's like a dragon and demons and shit. Yeah,
yeah, I like that a lot.
Like,
and
that's
I'm a huge
crazy.
indie game player.
And I used to think up until, I mean, this is still possibly the thing, but I last generation, well, this current generation that we have, Xbox One and PlayStation 4, I really believe that Xbox has the indie market in their console. But what I saw today shows that PlayStation's no slouch, man. Little devil inside.
Just because Xbox got more attention because it's like the whole thing of like you got two kids, right? You got let's see, you got a boy and a girl. The girl always fucks up and the boy doesn't, but then the girl finally does better. That the girl's gonna get more like recognition for doing well than the one that's
where this conversation
because PlayStation had a good relationship with the indie community.
Oh,
Xbox was dog shit. They were accused of all this stuff with the 360. They wouldn't put people's like ad shit up. I don't know personally if it's gotten better, but I saw that documentary thing with the which is words to throw around. I saw a documentary about the Meat Wad or Meat Boy.
Oh, Super Meat Boy.
Yeah, Super Meat Boy and Fez.
Yeah.
And like how they were treated, and then like Xbox One comes out, and they literally made it that year a point to be like we are
Indie
now with
developers.
indie.
Yeah.
But none of the ones I wanted ever came out. None of the ones that like really caught me, and then some of the ones they invested in just were like
trash.
Oh, there's a lot of indie games. They're flooding the market at this point now because there's so many people who
They're
can make games.
they're like Metroidvania games.
Yeah,
There's
they're just
a
the
lot of them.
same. They're just like holy fuck. Like,
But a lot of these ones that PlayStation showed off in their presentation.
well, I hope they
look
stop
so different.
with the new generation. I hope they stop babying us. I feel too babied in games like Star
Like
Wars.
hand-holding?
Yeah, like there's too much hand holding. Like I appreciated Star Wars: Fallen Order. Like honestly, one of the best games I've played in a while. Or
Yeah.
Death Stranding because it doesn't like literally hold your hand, but there's games that'll literally be like, go here, go there, do this,
Tutorial
do that.
based,
Yeah,
tutorial
it's like
based.
fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I love the indie games. I loved a lot of them. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look at all the trailers individually to kind of see them again.
What was after that? What was after the Ratchet and Clank?
They showed Little
Indie
Big
games.
Planet
That
is
was-
getting a spin-off, which is
Is it a spin-off or a reboot?
it's a spin-off. It's totally a spin-off because it's not Media Molecule making the game. It's Sumo Digital.
Interesting.
And so what this totally is Sony going, we recognize there's a need for platform gaming in our universe. We have Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation 1 and the PS2. We did the Reignited, or not the Reignited, we did the Insane Trilogy on the PS4. But they had Knack 1 and 2, and Knack 1 and 2 is not really that recognizable of a franchise. It didn't do super well. So what they're doing is they're taking a product that is really popular, Little Big Planet, they're taking Sackboy from it, dropping him in his own platform game, bing, bang, boom, you got a recipe for success, that's what they're hoping
Yeah, and it's
for.
co-op again.
And it's
But if
co-op.
they don't have that online presence, it's gonna fail.
I mean,
I honestly, because
the
I
cre-
only bought them for the online.
Really? I only ever bought it for the platforming.
Well, for the platforming, but like I much rather played with my friends online and play like I remember.
Oh, you mean just the
Like,
connectivity of it?
No, just like you could play levels made by
Other
users,
people,
and
yeah.
like some of them were really cool. Like one where it was a skateboard, and I saw the train look really cool, and I'm like, are
Play
they gonna?
Dreams, bro.
Huh?
Play Dreams. That's Media Molecule. It's PlayStation 4.
Oh.
Dreams. That's their new thing.
Dreams?
That's literally what it is. Other people created games, and you get to play them all.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. We'll talk about that after
Yeah.
this.
But no, I think it's a smart idea for them to separate that now. 'Cause-
No, I definitely they definitely with the logo made sure it was a clear thing, but like it looked
But
just
the
it
jokes,
looked
bro.
spin-offy.
The jokes, bro. I'm gonna make little Sackboy's Big Adventure. Yeah, his sack is ready for a big adventure.
Little animated short.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they showed some more indie games. And then they showed, what's it called?
The PlayStation Room thing or whatever.
Oh, no, they showed Astrobot again, which is cool. Astrobot is supposed to be one of these genre-defining 3D games that rivals, you know, when Super Mario 64 came out, and
Wait,
how they
wait.
changed the 3D dynamic. Astrobot is supposed to be that, so now they're putting Astrobot front and center again.
Which
It's
one is
kinda cool.
Astrobot?
He's a little robot dude. Like it looks like the PlayStation Home guy.
So that's supposed to be genre defining?
His standalone game on the PSVR is.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because how it worked with three-dimensional
Mhm.
space in a gameplay environment would
Okay.
rival
I see
what
what
people
you're
would say about with Super Mario 64.
The one game that I'm super interested in, and of course, it's the furthest away. Sorry.
Let me ask you what it is. Is it Pragmata?
Was that the one where he shot the fucking vine shit to stop the missile with the
Yeah.
little girl, and it looked
Yeah.
like some Square Enix shit?
Yep, it's
yeah.
Pragmata.
Yeah, no, for real. That
Yo,
looked like
that
some
game
Hideo
looks
shit.
trippy. I thought it
That
was
game
Hideo.
looks
I
so-
thought it was Kojima.
He moves like Dead Space, though. He moves
does.
like Dead Space. He looks like.
I think it's.
Is it the guy that left
think
Death
it
Stranding?
is.
The guy.
No, I
is,
think
like,
it's a dude who
lead-
worked. He's a writer and he's written for like Dead Space and stuff like that.
Well,
Because
you know,
yeah,
Rick Remender wrote the first Dead Space.
that's crazy.
Isn't it? Isn't it though?
It is.
And he worked on Toy Story. Anyway, sorry.
But no, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Days
game
of
looks
American Crime is
crazy.
also number 7 on the most watched
Will
thing.
you
Sorry.
stop?
Just plugging Rick Remender shit and our shit.
No, Pragmata looks cool. It's one of those new IPs. They did a really good job with this presentation of showing. Remember this stuff back from the PlayStation 1? Oddworld
Did you-
Apes Odyssey is getting a brand new fucking game.
That's story driven, like super.
yeah,
like,
I mean, so were all the other ones,
well,
but
also though, what he was talking about like got me super hype, and it didn't. I didn't see how that played.
yeah,
What he was talking about, just the way he described it, just didn't seem like that's what was happening. Like,
yeah.
where
Oddworld
is
is
the-
weird gameplay though. It's always had weird like side scroller gameplay.
Yeah.
And so to see them stick with that formula in 2020, going at maybe 2021,
They seem
and making
passionate
a
about it.
new Oddworld game, man, that's crazy. Like that's a lot of PS1 fanboys. They're like, oh my gosh, Oddworld.
They've made one though for every console, haven't they?
I don't think so.
No.
I know they're making a new one for the PS4, but I think it's a remaster of the original.
Yeah, because
but I don't know.
PS5.
And then they showed Demon's Souls remastered for people who love Dark
Was
Souls.
that
but never-
remastered?
Yeah,
It
it's
is a
remastered.
Holy
remaster.
fuck, that looked gorgeous for a
Yeah.
remaster. That
Yeah.
game looks. That's why I never played it. I could
It
barely
was on the
see
PS3.
and
only,
that
yeah.
shit. But I know it's like a
And it's
harder Dark
trifling.
Souls.
It is trifling. It's
Because
supposed
like
to be
what
the
I
hardest
described
game,
him,
right?
what I described to him, I was like, Dark Souls is when you want to break your controller, and he assumed I was gonna say Demon Souls is when you break your console. I said no, that's when you want to burn down your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just go
I had a
17
kid in
steps
high school
ahead.
tell me like, don't play it. Like
Yeah,
that
it's
shit is
that
like
difficult.
impossible.
So
So
they did a really good job going back to my point of showing these old like, hey, remember this? Remember how much you love this Ratchet and Clank? Remember
which
how
is
much you
dangerous
love-
because that's what happened last time.
Remember how much you love
They
Spider-Man back
remember,
in 2018?
yeah, they were like, remember when you liked Killzone?
Yeah.
Remember when
But
you
then,
liked this and
but
this?
then the thing they did this time was like,
And it was
what
like-
about this fresh Pragmata? You think you like the smell of that full course
I did
meal?
too. That was some bullshit.
You were like,
He
what the
literally-
fuck is this?
He stopped. He walked back into the living room and looked, and he's like, "All right, when the date?" And he saw 2022. He fucking screamed.
I was like,
He's
that's
like,
some
"This
bullshit.
is bullshit."
That was
2
like when
years. I
Hideo
was like,
showed
oh, no.
the
Death
Norman
Stranding.
Reedus.
Yeah.
It was like 5 years from
Yeah,
now, and I was
yeah.
like, fuck you,
Yeah.
you piece of shit.
No, but they showed these games, you know, they showed all these different new IPs and these new console-defining games that may become franchises interspersed throughout the
I
whole
was
thing.
really hoping they'd have a test-ready Resident Evil 4 remake, but it's
Nah, bro, you know what they're
I
doing?
think
They're
that
doing
was
it
good.
smart, but I appreciate the segue you're throwing my way. Because let's talk about the killer that I love so much. Resident Evil 8 Village finally, after leaks upon leaks for months on end, gets shown and it looks amazing.
I'll say that some scenes look better than others.
Him going, whoa, 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 don't shoot, I'm a friendly, and like you can see the pores
Yeah.
in his hand. I'm like, holy
Yeah.
fuck!
The one scene I noticed was really like realistic to me is the scene where the person's laying on the ground and all the like they look like brothel girls, but I don't think they are.
Oh
but I'm
yeah,
just
no,
saying,
they're,
like,
they're in the mansion. Where
Yeah.
it looks like the castle.
and they're
whatever.
surrounding him
Yeah.
in like the old garment. That looked fucking real to me.
Dude.
That whole scene
that-
looked like legitimate.
The game
with the
looks
fireplace.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The snow effects.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But here's the problem, and here's what makes me kind of afraid.
Are you gonna say first person?
No, well, kind of, but also the fact that like today, what discouraged me is like I was going through the storyboards or the concept art that didn't get made for Death Stranding that had been drawn, and it just always seems like this shit that they make that's like super fucking scary. They just
on the table.
They get
and
fucking
cut.
Yeah, and he had some shit on there, man, that
But
like
bro,
would be so fucking cool.
I'm a big Resi head. I have been a big Resi head since the day I found it, and
Yeah, that's true.
a lot of the elements that are in Village look like they're repurposed elements from the original Resident Evil 4, which is now Resident Evil 3.5, which is paranormal, supernatural shit that is due to a virus, and they're putting a castle in it. It looks like Resident Evil 4, but like this thing, I think what they're going to do is they're going to fix the problems they have with Resi 7. The biggest problem with Resi 7 is they played it safe. They showed you, oh look, remember attach boxes, remember being able to explore a mansion, remember all this stuff. We're putting it in first person, but it felt like a Resident Evil game. It felt more like a Resident Evil game
Well, the
in
plot,
the past Resident Evil games. The plot, the story was weak. This looks like it's going to take, oh, remember, you thought it was weak? Let's crank that bitch up a little bit. There is so many more characters in it, in just the trailer alone. There's so many more locations.
Definitely, way more locations. I definitely saw there were way more.
They are taking a small scale.
But you got to think, when 7 came out, VR was not commonly household. That made it a household item.
It's funny you say that, because VR,
VR's had a whole hell of a hard history on like games coming out, and one just had to pick up. And I swear, Resident Evil was all over the internet. They had people making their kids play it and reacting and stuff like that. It was like horror.
I'm playing the new Walking Dead Saints and Sinners game, and that is right up there with Resident Evil 7. Dude, I have never played a VR game more intuitive than that.
Really?
And I thought it was going to be Garbo, and I bought it because it's Walking Dead, and I was shill.
Well, they also canceled that really, like...
Overkill, The Walking Dead. Yeah, and that was Garbo.
Was it really?
That's why they canceled it. But this game is sick, and it's another one of those things where with VR, you have to play it. Just like people would say Resident Evil 7, you have to play it. That is now one of my
I enjoyed playing it without it, but I definitely had a better experience playing with it.
I can't play VR games for too long unless I have Dramamine.
I know you did tell me that.
Yeah.
We did the Until Dawn. We played the Man of Medan, but we kind of cheated. We're playing right next to each other, so we knew not to kill each other.
Oh, okay. So. But back on topic, Resident Evil 8 is going to be great. I'm so excited for it. I'm so cool. I'm so interested in just the concept of what they're doing with it. I'm kind of already like balls deep in the lore of this game because I've been like reading the leaks and everything.
Really?
Yeah. So like everything this dude was like, this is what they've been talking about. Maybe for Resident Evil 8, it's gonna be called The Village and stuff. And then boom, 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 all that shit playing out on screen, but way more than I ever thought I'd see.
Well, because Resident Evil's biggest issue that I saw, because I followed a lot, man, I used to really follow the developers. Like, I remember being super excited for Operation Umbrella.
Oh, bro, Operation Raccoon City.
They didn't, Operation Raccoon City. Wow, does it not hold up on
No,
PlayStation now?
Not.
But back in the day, I remember, like, the gun system was awesome, but
it's so trash now, bro.
And I followed the, well, it's like, there's a weird, like, filter on it or some shit on the PS Now. If you play on the PS3, it's bad on the PS3 too.
No, I can't. I just can't play that game anymore.
I was saying that they didn't communicate a lot. Like the dude, one of the guys that worked on the online said like, "No, we don't fucking talk to each other." Like,
fucking
and like, so I don't know if something changed with 7 being a different team, but like I remember that was a big issue. When Shinji Mikami left, there's always like when the lead leaves, there's like chaos because they take. I'm assuming he took a bunch of people with him. Because his game also, I have a problem being first person. I fucking hate that. Now I just don't care.
Well, Shinji Mikami went and made The Evil Within.
Yeah, I know, which was fucking amazing. But then he made fucking The Ghost of whatever. I don't care.
I don't remember that game.
The one they showed off for
Medium?
PlayStation. Ghost of
Tsushima?
No.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that game. That's like one of the new IPs that I'm like, I didn't expect it to be first person.
It's like, I get his vibe. Like, he wants to do like a monk game, basically.
Well,
dude, he was doing ninjutsu.
Yeah,
like all the leaves are gonna love it.
I think because literally the the
It was
way that
Yu
they
Yu
described
Hakusho,
it is
like-
like
No, bro. It was Yu Yu Hakusho mixed with Naruto.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
literally the way they described it though is like you saving Tokyo. So I think that's why they went the first person route. So
Yeah.
it feels
Well,
like
he
it's
also
actually
added
you.
first person into Evil Within 2 once it came out.
That's
there is
true.
a way you can change it, which is just like, why would I do
But no,
that?
I'll fucks with some Ghostwire Tokyo. It looks a little janky, but again, it looks super cool and looks very polished. I
Well,
like
he's
the lighting
also, I
effects.
don't know if he's the co-director or the director on this one.
I don't know. But yeah, so they showed Resident Evil 7, they showed Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah.
And like as I am processing Resident Evil 8, I'm sorry, not 7, I said 7 just a few moments ago. They go off and they drop the biggest bomb that they could have done. I did not expect them to come out with a Horizon Zero Dawn 2
Not this early.
and end the
Well,
presentation.
but it's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been 3 years,
Yeah,
so
so-
there's been a lot of time.
Well, also he died, and I'm kind of bummed they didn't say anything about that. He died, didn't he? The
Who?
director of the last one.
I think you're right.
He died,
'Cause I
and it
remember
was
them
the
talking
whole
about it,
game
Guerrilla
was made
Games.
because he asked them like what they wanted in a game, and that's why the game was
That's
made.
true. Now that you
So I was
mention that,
kinda
think you're
blown
right,
that
'cause
they
I remember
didn't-
that all over the internet.
Yeah,
They
they
may
could
not
have
have
said.
been able to.
Yeah, that's true. It
They
was
might
a
have
very
time slots.
professional,
Yeah.
like.
It was a very time slotty.
Yeah, it
episode.
was very. That one guy was at home. The the 2K player or whatever. He was like.
Yeah, I didn't bring up 2K because I don't really fuck
I
about
don't.
2K.
Well, it's like I have a friend that plays them, and he said that the last couple have been pretty dog shit.
Yeah.
So I don't see. They always want to show consumers the graphics, but like when it comes to the gameplay, they really don't even fix the shit that's been broken
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
So. It is what it is. If you're a diehard 2K person, you'll like it. If you don't give a shit,
you
I
gotta
wouldn't
sweat
say it.
graphics back into it.
Yeah, just pick.
The
pick-
game looks cool.
Google literally get it from sports fans. Like they'll tell you which one's the best to play.
Yeah.
Which
But
I'm
yeah, then
pretty
they
sure
they
60
show
or
off
something.
Horizon Zero Dawn. I think it's Horizon West Frontier now.
Westworld.
West something like that.
Notice games are really going away from those numbers.
Yeah, because yeah.
Well,
I
it
wonder what's
says
going
2
on.
at the bottom underneath
Oh,
it, but
really?
it's like really tiny.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's
okay.
cool.
Mhm.
And yeah, of course, Horizon Zero Dawn was one of their biggest sellers of the year of 2017.
I just hope they fix that fucking.
It was
facial
funny though, because
animation.
like he was shocked before they even showed the name or before they even showed her. I knew what it was just because I saw the buildings with like the
Yeah.
vines on them. I was like, it's
But
Horizon.
then she said she was like, well, there's a bunch of life, so I don't think it's that. And I was like, well, hold on now. You're going somewhere with this. It does, because I was like, it would make sense if it's been 3 years. They're not going to just have her pick up from where she was.
She looks like she's in a whole different place.
Yeah. So they said in the trailer, and that's when we both knew when she said it allowed life to come back. Then we were like, oh shit, I bet this is fucking New Horizon. But it was just funny that she called it from the beginning, then she doubted herself, and I was like, wait a minute now, you might be onto something.
But like, yeah, they show off Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, no cuts, and I gotta pee. So.
And so.
Oh.
Yeah, the router looks. I mean, it is what it is. I have no say whatsoever. It's gonna be the next PlayStation. Every other PlayStation has looked pretty bland and boring.
It's interesting though. The one thing I found strange is you figure every console so far it's always been advertised as long ways this way.
Yeah.
I like that it's built to be this way.
But is it gonna be built properly to be built that way?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because I always put it down anyway.
Yeah, and that's what I'm wondering. Like you see the curvature in it, like where the fans. I'm assuming that's where the fans are gonna
and then
go.
you see the
So
disc
it's
drive.
like-
It's like
Yeah, so it's like,
full
does that
detail.
mean there's going to be less issues with fans? Because PlayStation's famous for that, having a lot
or
of issues
HDMI
with their
ports
fans.
going out.
Yeah, so it makes me wonder, does that mean that those things are, they came into the idea for when
Or
designing
are they
it?
going to use internal cooling?
Yeah, so they didn't talk about, like, what's inside it, and that's kind of where, like, I kind of got a little about it, because I was like, I want to know what's in it, what's powering
we also
it.
have to take into account that they've released a couple little tidbits here and there.
Yeah, but nothing like a whole
Super
breakdown.
detailed,
Like
yeah.
I want Xbox did that with like the Xbox X. Like they gave like the whole breakdown of everything. So like that's kind of what I was hoping for, is that they'd give a breakdown of like what's in it.
They have said that they're going to do another presentation, so that's probably when we're going to get release date, price point, and that kind of breakdown.
Yeah, because I'm hoping the digital only is cheaper or something.
I don't know why you would buy digital only for the sake of anything being cheaper.
I don't want a digital only.
Let me break it down for you with math.
Break it down.
You can save $100 on a PlayStation 5 digital only console, right?
Uh-huh.
But those games that you're going to buy are going to regularly be at full price.
Yeah, I know.
For
Hitman
years.
2 I can't get literally because it. Well, I could get it, but it's $60.
Do you really want to spend $60 on a game?
I don't have
a couple
it
of
yet.
years.
I don't
Wow.
have it yet.
You know.
Also, wait. Something that we haven't even talked about that was in that video.
Hitman 3.
Whoa. Did they change his fucking voice actor?
I don't know, bro.
Somebody needs to get back to me in the comments if that was supposed to be another person's voice.
He's like, I'm called a hitman.
Literally, it sounded like some basic, just like regular, like
I
dude
love
they
how
pulled
he
off the
described
street.
it though. He was like, it sounds like just some basic white dude, and I
It
just
really
looked at him.
was, though.
Corey was
like-
in the booth. Yeah, I'm Hitman. And then, like, to cover it up, he's like, that's some basic white dude.
Yeah,
I was
like
like,
what the
what?
fuck? Like even fucking what's his name in the original Hitman movie did the like. He doesn't even have that voice.
Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, I fucking love him. Don't even talk shit about that.
I'm
movie.
not talking shit about him.
No,
I'm
no,
just
it's
saying
Just
his name.
expressed who it was. Oh my god!
It's like when I
calm
talk
down.
about the Resident Evil movies.
Is that paranoia?
For real.
When I was in
I
college,
love Timothy Oliphant. He's in Santa Clarita Diet,
Yeah,
man.
he's
I
in
love
Santa
him.
Clarita.
But what were you talking about, Resident Evil movies?
I used to have to get into fights with people because when the new one came out, I was the only one excited. So like, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to see
For
like,
Final Chapter? Bro.
dude, I love those movies. Fuck
Those fucking movies are dog shit.
I fucking love
1
those
and 2
movies.
are okay cinema flicks. The rest are terrible.
Dude, yeah,
but
no one gives 3 credit. 3 is so fucking good.
3 is so far off the reservation of the lore, though. So if you're gonna break, so this is the problem with those movies. I'm gonna go off on this tangent. 1 and 2 follow a okay enough thing for this series as a lore standpoint.
Okay.
But after 2, it fucking says, "Fuck you guys, we're going off the reservation."
Yeah, then it was its own thing.
and it still did that shittily. Like there's nothing.
Now, I will say, to this day, the one thing that really pisses me off every time I see it is how they fucking killed Wesker in the end. You're telling me this man survived a neutron bomb or some shit?
Yeah.
It was fine, but
Yeah.
like, fuck, my arm's trapped under an elevator. This grenade will
Yeah.
do it. Like,
Yep,
what
that's
the
it,
fuck?
bro.
So.
There's no consistency. The characters are all fucking boring.
Well, okay, all right, hold on now. I just said that one thing. Like, that was
You're
it.
like, wait, I love everything else.
I love everything else. Also, I wish they'd pick the guy from Bones to be Chris Redfield. He's Chris Redfield, incarnate. The fact that they haven't casted him for that
David
Netflix.
Boreanaz?
Yes.
Bro,
He looks like... Watch that new SWAT shit he's in or whatever.
I know what you're getting at.
Dude, he look... What do you mean? Resident Evil... Which one is the one with... That's 5. Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
He looks just like Chris Redfield from 5.
No, bro. I can see it.
He has
I
the
can
hair
see
and
it. I can
everything.
see
And the
it.
face. Like, he could do it.
If he didn't, but not
Especially
early.
from the new
He could
games.
totally do Resi 8, Chris.
And
Chris is
6.
like almost...
He could probably do
50
6.
at this
He'd
point.
have to get a little more swole in the shoulder area.
Chris is almost 50 at this fucking point in Resident Evil.
No, he's
8.
gotta be older
No,
than
he's
that.
47, bro.
He should have gray hair by now.
He
How
probably.
old is he in 5?
You don't
he's in
always
his
develop gray hair. Like some.
Chris should have gray fucking hair
He
after
should be
6.
salt and pepper daddy.
Why? Yeah, wait, what were we
He
gonna
may
say
dye
about
that
6?
shit. You never know.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
what about the game?
You said we'll wait off on talking about 6.
Oh, I think the game is fine. I think people give it too much shit for it.
Tangents.
But like the gameplay is okay. I think it's far too long
Of a game?
for a completionist
Yeah.
who wants to get
Okay.
every single trophy
Yeah.
and play like because you got to beat it on every single fucking difficulty, which I already do anyway. But to do that, you have to play 32 hours of a single playthrough
Yeah,
for each.
I got
character.
close to being Leon's on No Hope, and then I was like...
You're
I'm
like,
not
there's
doing
no hope.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing this for every single one. No, I just like that had the best marketing for me.
It's
besides
definitely
the giraffe getting
it's
its dick
It's
sucked.
definitely
the logo.
mixed. It's definitely mixed.
Well, the
Like-
fact that it was like No Hope and like just like the advertising.
No,
was really
I'm
good.
with you. I think it's a solid game.
And,
I love it in the franchise, but it's definitely like
I could take
Capcom
or
is
leave.
trying to be like, We got everything you want. You like the survival horror stuff? We got.
Well, they were
You
trying
want
to
the
get more
action-heavy
people.
stuff?
Yeah, exactly. They were trying to get like the Uncharted people to play it.
I think it has. I think it's solid. I do think 7 did something where it brought it back to its roots, and then we see Resident Evil 2 remake, and we see Resident Evil 3 remake.
All they have to do is not put fucking karate in it.
Yeah. And then
I mean, it's really not that hard.
And then they're coming out with Resi 8, and then they're gonna do, if these leaks are correct, which I don't know why they wouldn't be, since the shit for 8 has been correct.
Fuck you for even
Remake
trying
4.
to say it's not gonna be a thing.
I'm just saying.
Veronica has been leaked as well.
I'm so pissed that they didn't do Code Veronica
They
before
just
they
leaked
did
it.
fucking 4.
Yeah, I got a guy at work that I don't always agree with, but he like totally wanted it. He thought 3 would
really
be a
thought it was
DLC
gonna
for
be-
2, and then they just do Code Veronica.
I thought they were gonna do Code Veronica.
There's a rumor they're doing. Well, no, it's getting a remaster, like 1 and 2. Not, yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, you didn't like those? I completed 1 and
No, I think
1
they're
and 0.
great.
1
but
and 0
I
remakes.
want to see them
remasters.
if they're gonna put their money where their fucking mouth is.
Oh
they
hell
should
yeah!
put
I
it
would
in,
love to
like-
see. Well, it'd be like, I don't know. That's my favorite with a female. I like 3, but not as much as I like Veronica.
Which is weird.
Veronica
Code
has the
Veronica
twins
is
and
much-
shit.
yeah, they have some fucked up people in Code.
Which is just like that's the parts that I
They,
like.
they need to keep the voice
7.
acting across the board for.
No, it's like that's the only game in my entire life where you walk into the castle, he's sitting on the banister, and you literally go, "Oh, you fuck your siblings, you fuck your family."
Even Wesker in that fucking game
Was
is
like-
weird.
Yeah.
He's all like, "Nah." You're like, what the fuck is this dude? What? This is a horror game? Because the whole time, and then Steve Burnside, "Hey babe, I said I was sorry," and you're like, "Oh, this dude is clearly Canadian." Like, there's no fucking hiding it.
Holy shit!
But they need to do that and keep the voice acting in it because it is so fucking iconic. But anyway, no. So let's get back on the PlayStation launch event.
So what was next after that? What
We just talked about the system, and then they tied it all up. So I think overall they did
There's
a
one more
really.
missing.
I mean, we can't. We're getting into like over.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's fine.
But I think it did a really good job of doing what it wanted to do. You know.
The one game that we are going to get immediately that I am bringing up, I'm going to fuck it up. It was Kara or Kara.
Oh, the one with the little no, the one with the
It's like
little
the
guys
little
with the
black-
eyeballs that look
little
like for
squishy
Star
things.
Wars. She had the wand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
She had the wand.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
mixture of Shadow of the Colossus, but with some
Yeah.
cool, like, you know what game it makes me think of? What was the game on Xbox original? Attack in the Power of Juju. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
it gave me vibes of that, and I that game looks fucking dope. I want that one too.
It's gonna be
so,
cool.
yeah, we'll
I'm
definitely go.
it's very exciting. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
But we want to know what you guys think overall. I think we're gonna tie it up here today. We're glad to be back. We're glad to be talking to you. We do want to know what you think. What are you guys talking about? What
Also,
games
what
are
do
you
you guys
excited
want?
about?
If y'all want to like just let us know like some ideas of like what you'd like to see.
Yeah, we didn't
We're
see
not
any
gonna
kind of God of War, or
Yeah.
we didn't see any Days Gone. Too early for Days Gone, but God of War, we didn't see anything
what
for
you
God
want a
of
Days
War.
Gone too.
We're gonna have a Days Gone too.
Oh,
It's sold too well and left off at that cliffhanger.
I don't even know what I care about enough. Like I'm excited for
New IPs.
Where that Doom DLC though?
Jedi Order 2 would be cool.
Yeah, Jedi Order 2. You know, they got that
That
confirmed
dude.
already.
Just patiently waiting for the DLC. I still haven't beaten it. I won't. I don't want to do
Oh,
it.
wow.
I don't want to do it till there's DLC because I'm gonna
Something
cry.
I really want to see.
Fucking end.
I'm gonna cry, so that's why I haven't done it yet. I'm literally like, I'm at the last chapter.
Fucking
I've
end,
gone
bro.
through a bunch of the buildings and beat a bunch of the people, but I haven't gotten to the big final boss man, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna cry. Because then I have to wait for DLC, and I can't do that. I can't wait. I'm gonna cry.
Something I hope that the new gen consoles do that I noticed was accomplished very well in God of War, Doom, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is the landscapes and locations we got to see and the objects we interacted with were fucking gorgeous and just, yeah, I want more of that.
I mean, if you look at any, Ratchet and Clank is any kind of indication, or a lot of these games is any indication.
the locations,
the
they take you to fucking so
fucking
much.
amazing.
And now they're doing a dimensional rift, which literally can take us to anywhere. Because the first thing I'm always going to wonder is, like, how diverse are the enemies? And, like, I don't know. I was, in the end, depressed by the options in Star Wars. They could have done a little bit.
I think they could have done a lot.
I think they might have been on a time crunch, so I don't know.
It's
And
a
also,
first in a series,
we'll have a separate video, and we need to talk about the license expiring in either a few years or shortly between EA and Disney or for Star Wars.
Lucas.
Yeah, we should talk about like who should get it and like what the next steps would be.
I'm sure they're gonna renew because of how well Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order did and Battlefield 2.
Disney
regardless
has to
of
approve
what.
though. And what? So they've had they've had 5 years and they haven't done much with it. They made Battlefront and Fallen Order.
Yeah, that's true.
So and what they've scrapped like 2 complete games.
Yeah, the Amy Hennig game.
Yeah, it's like so. I don't know. I don't know if that saved money in the end, and maybe that's what they were going for. But
Jedi Fallen Order was gonna get scrapped at one point. I remember reading.
Like
Damn,
why?
Luis, you
Like,
thirsty bitch.
Let's end it there, though.
yeah, let's end it there.
But as always,
Leave a
give
like,
us,
subscribe,
and a comment.
and let us know.
Talk to us.
Goodbye.